Do you think any book of yours would be a movie soon, anytime soon?
Well, there's a lot of talk now. They finished the first hour's writing, the first hour's script of the Clifton Chronicles. One of the problems is Harry is only 4, Giles is only 4, Emma's only 2. So we're looking at 70 episodes of 1 hour. And they're flying over to Hollywood on March the 17th. They have 3 interviews with 3 of the major companies, and they have requested to see me. Not to see me, to see the people. We have a budget. We have 2 leading stars, and no, I'm not going to tell you their names. But we have nobody, of course, for Harry, Emma or Giles, because they won't be 18 until the end of the first series. So it's been important to get big stars to play Maisie, to play Old Jack, to play Sir Hugo and Sir Walter, to get big names for that. And I think we have them. We'll be announcing it in March.
So what about the Bollywood movies? Is this a Bollywood?
Bollywood. Don't talk to me about Bollywood. They steal my books and put them on screen. Yes, they do, you laugh. Oh, yes, they do. They steal my books. Cain and Abel was stolen.
Was it?
Not a penny more. What was it called?
Oh.
Yeah, what do you mean, oh, Quadal? Her paper said, you can't miss Cain and Abel in this unless you're blind. Her paper. So no, you stole my book. You. No, not you. You.
So, but don't you
But
think
the official adoption of your any story or any novel to Indian film.
Well,
Are you ready for that?
am I ready for
an adaptation?
Official adaptation for Hindi movie.
of one of my books? Yes, if a serious producer. I mean, I had breakfast this morning with one of the great producers of this country.
Ronnie
But he's given up. He's now doing charity work and other things. And it was fascinating talking to him. But he says the world is changing. He says that there are many more serious producers and directors who don't want to steal any longer. They want to see the author, meet them, and do a proper job. And that's good. That's good news. Back time too, but it's good news. A story I shall tell again when I speak to the masses downstairs, assuming this is not the masses, is that when I came in at the airport, a little boy tapped on the window, a little boy with a pile of books. He said, would you like the latest Jeffrey Archer? I said, I am the latest Jeffrey Archer. Next, someone who hasn't asked the question? Yes.
Okay, I have a list of 5 questions. Can I?
We might consider 3.
Okay. So, firstly, Clifton Chronicles. It draws
Now you
a
see,
lot
she's
from
an
the-
educated woman. She gave it away immediately. One word she said gave away that she was educated. One word. She said firstly. How many people would simply say first? Try again.
Okay. The Clifton Chronicles draws a lot from your life itself. So, was the autobiographical touch intentional, or was it through the course of your?
Oh, quite intentional. I was brought up in the West Country of England. Harry is very much me. Giles is a bit of me, because he's a politician, of course. Emma is my wife, my brilliant and talented wife. If you want to see a beautiful woman, I'll show you a beautiful woman. Is that mine?
No, so that's mine.
Where's mine? Oh, I didn't bring it. I didn't bring mine. I didn't bring my, yes I did.
हाँ मैंने पूछा.
It won't make any difference, as you do not have a picture of my wife on your machine.
On the internet we do.
But I do, and I'm going to show you my wife when she was, how old are you?
23.
23, I'll show you my wife when she was 26. And I'm going to tell you about her in a moment. Now,
You're a lucky man.
this woman got a first-class honours degree at Oxford. She then went on to teach at Oxford. She then went on to teach at Cambridge. She then became chairman of the local hospital. It became the best hospital in Great Britain. It was voted the best hospital in Great Britain. The Queen then made her a dame. She's now Dame Mary. And a few weeks ago, the Prime Minister made her chairman of the Science Museum.
Wow.
She is the first woman ever to chair a museum or gallery in Great Britain. That is one remarkable woman. So, the point of telling you all this is that Emma in the book is Mary, really. Emma is Mary, and it's been easy to write Emma and think of being... I've been married to Mary for 49 years, so it's been easy to think So I'm Harry, Mary's Emma, there's a lot of my friends in Giles. It's only the wicked Virginia, the wicked Lady Virginia, who I will never tell anyone who she's based on.
So which book is closest to your heart?
Sorry?
Which book is closest to
Well,
your
not a penny more, not a penny less, I'm sentimental
First.
about.
First.
Changed my whole life. Well, it didn't, but it changed what I did. It was Cain and Abel that changed my whole life. I didn't realize at the time, you know, if you'd said to me it's going to sell 37 million copies, it's going to have 100 reprints, this book would just go on and on, I would have laughed at you. And the Indian people, I spoke to your editor 10 years ago, whoever was your editor 10 years ago. I said, I saw a statement in the Times of India. I said, now this is a serious paper. So I presume the statement has some degree of accuracy. And he said, I said, well, you said that 50 million people in India have read Cain and Abel. He said, that's a conservative number, Jeffrey. He said, I've never been to a party where someone hasn't read Cain and Abel. So, if 50 million people in India have read Cain and Abel, it's going to survive. And I have mothers, grandmothers saying to me, and my grandchildren are reading Cain and Abel. This will go on. Which for any author is just wonderful.
So, could you tell us about your time as a Member of Parliament and about your political career?
I was a Member of Parliament for 5 years at a very young age. And of course that gave me the opportunity to write about Parliament fairly, and now I'm a Member of the Lords. So, Giles, I can write about Giles, and in this book, Giles goes to the House of Lords because he loses his seat. And so I was able to write about that. I always say to people, for God's sake, write about what you know, particularly young people who come to see me. Don't write erotica because erotica is in this year. Don't write ghost stories because ghost stories are in this year. Write what you feel at ease with, and if it's any good, the public will take it. And the proof of that is Jane Austen. She lives in a small village, she writes about a small village, and everyone in the world reads it. Why? Because she's a damn good storyteller. Good writer too.
Sir, any chances to paint?
No, last question there, and then you. Patience, child. You. I never used to talk to the press like this, but now I'm 74. I don't care any longer. Come on.
Sir, I'll ask.
So,
No, you had a question. Wake up. You've lost it. You.
Any chances to paint down for autobiography?
No, at the moment I've got 2 more books I've got to do, the Clifton Chronicles. I then want to do a set of short stories. You'd be shocked how many Indians say, when are we getting short stories, please? And I've held it off for 7 books. And then I have an idea for a novel that is so big it may be bigger than Cain and Abel.
wow.
I've had it in my mind now for 5 years. If I can pull it off, it'll be the biggest thing I ever do.
When-
So the next 6 or 7 years are well taken care of.
When would you be writing this book? When
This
should
big
you-
one.
This big one.
5 years' time.
Okay.
If I'm alive.
You will be.
If the good luck. It's good. Don't let me interrupt your afternoon's entertainment with your boyfriend ringing you. No.
So you.
No, as the Queen famously said
So you.
when on the phone someone rang at a Privy Council
my boss
meeting.
was Scully's.
Did you know what the Queen famously said? I do hope it's someone important.
So you mentioned about R.K. Narayan, but
Great writer.
apart from him, do you follow any?
Well, obviously I'm
authors
aware
from
of your
India?
Nobel Prize winners. Obviously I'm aware of your great writers. Of course I am. Very aware. But for me, R.K. Narayan is the combination of both storyteller and writer, and that is rare.
So I wanted to ask, how and when did you start writing?
At the age of
What is the
32.
point?
How old are you?
I'm 30.
30. I started at 32.
What was the point in your life? Why did you start?
I left the House of Commons in debt. Had to leave the House of Commons when I was 34. 34 years old, and I wrote Not a Penny More, Not a Penny Less in desperation. So there's no need to start early.
So that
And
was
I've
your
now
first
done
book?
40 years. There's no need to start early. This myth, a lovely girl last night in Mumbai, she's written her first novel. She's 16. So I had her up on stage and she beat me up. She threw me off and talked to the 16. I tell you, the next generation of women in this country, wow, are they going to take India apart? God help you, men.
So will Margaret Thatcher come in your book? Will you be writing
I'm
about
sorry,
Margaret
I'm
Thatcher?
slightly deaf, sorry.
Will you be writing about Margaret Thatcher?
Yes, clever, good question. In this one, Harold Wilson makes an entrance as Prime Minister, and you see him on stage, so to speak. In the next one, number 6, Margaret Thatcher will make an entrance, and so will 8 chapters in Mumbai make an entrance. And you're going to have your own Indian cover. I talked to the cover person and said, I want an Indian cover.
Wow.
I want Sebastian on a motorbike with his beautiful Indian girl.
With no helmet.
And what?
Because people don't
You must have seen
And-
them without a helmet.
So that's being, I'm going to have a separate cover for India.
So were you compelled to write about India because you have a lot of fan base over here?
No, I love India. I wouldn't dare write a novel on India because I don't have enough knowledge. It would be very dangerous with educated people. If I was to sit down, you'd pick it to pieces. You'd find faults. I hope you don't find faults when it comes to English politics, when it comes to art, when it comes to the theatre, things I know and love. But I feel very confident about doing 8 chapters out of 40. Not least because tomorrow I go to Bangalore, and one of the cleverest men I've ever dealt with in India, a young man, maybe 40, very clever man, reads a book a week. He's the best read man I know. I'm going to get him to read the 8 chapters and tell me where I've made mistakes. He can't change the story is the story. But if I've made actual religious mistakes, or ethnic mistakes, or Indian mistakes, he'll go and point them out. And that'll be fine, because I don't want you lot saying, yeah, page 237, it's not Hindi, it's Hindu, you stupid person. I don't need that.